Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here on BuffaloPlus.com as well as the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. The subscribers keep going up. Thank you. Like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards, absolutely. But got Jenna and Mike with me here, guys. Sean McDermott gets his big extension today. The first question I think we want to start with, Mike, is why now?
Maybe because they just never do this, right? I mean, when you look at the history of this organization, we had Marv, right? And then a bunch of guys on 3 years and out is basically the way they were. And the only one who got a second deal was Dick Duran. Nice man. He was having a good start to the year. The word leaked out that they had given him the contract. Ralph probably promised him and was going to spend the money. And Ralph Wilson doesn't like to not spend the money. So he stuck with him, even though they finished the year 2-8. And then the next year, halfway through the season, they fired him. So, he got an extension, but barely. McDermott's just earned it. And I reference those other guys because he brought stability. He brought a plan. He brought the process. He did all that. And he's the most important figure for the franchise, since the Marv Levy days. I think it's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, I completely agree too. And it's like they did it now because they can. They know that they have confidence in this guy. They know they don't need to wait and see how things play out. It's okay. They think, the Pegulas think that this is their guy. He has had 2 playoff appearances, obviously not playoff wins, but that's something to build off of. But I think they decided that why wait? This offseason has been filled with so many just weird situations, let's be real. And to add that little bit of stability onto something like this, I just think it makes everyone a lot more calmer of like, okay, we know where we're headed.
Yeah, I think it's also worth noting how you really did have to stick with the process for a little bit. Not that long ago, Sean McDermott pulled the plug on Tyrod Taylor and played Nathan Peterman.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't that long ago. And then to start after making the playoffs and snapping the drought, then you enter 2018. The Bills start 0-2 with Peterman at the helm. It's an absolute disaster. And at that point, Vegas had Sean McDermott with the highest odds to get fired as the next head coach. Vegas doesn't get a whole lot of things wrong. They got that wrong because less than 2 years later, Sean McDermott gets a 6-year extension. And Mike, I think you said it best because you've been covering this team for a little bit of time. This doesn't happen. These kind of deals.
No, it doesn't happen with them. And look, he still had 2 years left on the deal. So, I'm sure the money gets ramped up and then it's extended another 4 years. They know who the coach is, right? I mean, that's the NFL. We always say it's not for long. With the Bills, it's been everything is not for long. There's going to be players coming in and out. I mean, that's the way the league is. But you know who your coach is. I mean, you know who it is. And I think he's deserved this. And I think the other thing it shows, I think Sean McDermott is going to be the guy, whether Josh Allen's the guy or not. I mean, because now you're extending him. Look, they're hoping that Josh Allen is the guy and they can give him his new deal. And now you've got the quarterback and the coach. But I think by extending McDermott now, you're saying to everybody, okay, if it's not Josh Allen, he and likely Brandon Beane are going to get a chance to do it with another quarterback.
And Jenna, what is next? Because that was the thing. I didn't expect Sean to get an extension this soon. I think this was kind of like we kind of got the pop-up message on our phone. It was like, oh, okay. What's next? Is it a player? Is it front office? Is it a coach? What's next for you?
Well, I know we disagree on this.
We never disagree. That's so unlike
I know,
us.
right? So weird. I think it would be Brandon Beane next. And I don't think it would be a player because if I were the Pegulas, I would want to do that gesture to Brandon Beane and say, hey, you are also our guy. You are constructing the future for this team. We'll get you set, and then you can worry about the team. But that way obviously he feels comfortable the position that he's in, but just having that incentive of like, hey, you've done a great job. Here's a thank you. We want you on the team longer. I could not agree less.
I agree with every sentiment you're saying. Brandon Beane has earned it. He deserves it. It's a thank you. All those things deserve to Trey White. Because what else can he do besides be all pro, carry this defense, not carry this defense, but be a major part of this defense, to be one of the first pieces that that Sean McDermott drafted. I don't know what else Trey White can do if you don't extend him soon. What else is he going to do, and when does he get that deal?
You're right. He deserves all that. They all do. They've all earned it. They just don't need to do it with Trey White yet. As much as fans want to see it happen, he has this year. He has the 5th-year option, and it would be the franchise tag. I'm not saying they're doing all that. I'm saying this is the way it works in the NFL. Sometimes players have leverage. I do not believe right now Trey White has as much leverage as other people think.
Well, what leverage did McDermott have?
Well, he's got 2 years left on his deal, and he's your coach. He's more important than any player. I got to, and Bean is more important than any player. I mean, I think he is because they've had success. Quarterback, maybe, right? If you get the right quarterback, but I think they're going to believe that he's the guy. Now, you know, McDermott was there first. Bean came in a few months later. It was that Trey White draft, and Bean came in right after that. By the way, they traded the Mahomes pick.
I literally was waiting for you to say that.
But they did, but they ended up, you know, getting Trey, and he's been great, right? Because they weren't ready yet. But so I think the organization, the other part I was thinking is, you know, McDermott knows he wants a good general manager. He and Bean, I think, are tight enough, right? They are friendly, respect each other. I don't think they're bros hanging out every day, right? I just think they're different guys. I think they are together in the building. I think they are together in philosophy. I think that's a great way to put the two of them together. So my thinking is if Sean McDermott's going to sign a 4-year extension in Buffalo, he knows Brandon Bean's deal is coming, and it's coming soon.
Yeah.
That proves my point. By signing one of them, you kind of signed two of them. That, like, Bean ain't going anywhere either because he's kind of linked with McDermott.
Yeah, but
you can go get a player now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me that people wouldn't also be interested outside teams in seeing what Brandon Bean has been able to do in Buffalo. I'm sorry,
Jenna, maybe even more so than the head coach.
Yeah.
Because it is a job to try to change an organization, and Bean has done a really good job with that. So, and look, isn't it something that we're discussing?
There's no wrong answer.
Which person in the Bills organization deserves
my favorite kind of test?
More. We've been through so many years. I've been through so many years where there was nobody. Up. We used to call that a beggar. I don't know what you guys would call it.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Yeah.
So many years.
But the idea that you say, wow, we've got players we want back. I mean, you got a list of players and your coach and general manager.
You mean Fitzpatrick and EJ Manuel and Rex, those guys weren't worthy of these extensions?
Well, and you know what's funny? Okay,
Rex.
I'll say this. Fitz did deserve it. They did give it to him. And then they screwed that up by getting rid of him too soon.
Yeah.
When they should have kept him there, and at least he could have been never mind. It's just more mistakes that they made.
That's why I feel like they did do this now, is because they thought, why are we waiting if we can lock up a
And
guy
you made
like
a good point about, with all the uncertainty, I mean, things could go south this year.
Yeah.
Right? And it could be, you know, the pandemic, it could be those kind of problems. It could be a strange injury. It could be a lot of things. But let's face it, I don't think they're going to make their long-term decision on the coach and the GM based solely on this year. I think they believe, and let's also be honest, it's a rarity. Around the NFL, people around the league believe the Bills got it right with these two.
Yeah.
So also, that just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. Also, I think we do need to say it's pretty good PR for the Pagulas, who have kind of been getting hammered over these last 3 months. They come out with royal blue jerseys for the Sabres that the fans absolutely love. Mike's obsessed with them. Mike couldn't stop talking about them.
First of all, I swear, I care so little about uniforms. It's comical to me, but that's
You're
fine.
not a style guy, though.
Wow.
I don't care about some of that stuff with you. I get it. Look, it's cool when the team is doing well, because I look back on those horrific Sabres uniforms, black with the ugly buffalo. That team was in the Stanley Cup Finals, okay? So I get it. Nobody likes the ugly uniforms. I mean, the Amerks won the Calder Cup with those weird throwback sweaters that you see all the time. A team won the Calder Cup. So I'm more interested in that. But in terms of the Pagulas, if they didn't own a hockey team, you'd say, it took them a little while, and then they really got it right, which they did in football. In hockey, they still got a lot of work to do. But like you said, they'll look good as opposed to playing good.
If you guys want to listen to any more arguing from the three of us, we are going to get off of this and we're going to record a podcast. You can find it on buffaloplus.com as well. That'll be up later tonight. That's Wednesday. If you're following this, like, subscribe, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can find it there. Jenna?
I was to say, it's called Buffalo Plus. So just search it. You'll see Buffalo Plus, like, comment, subscribe. And if there's anything you want us to cover, send us a tweet, drop us a comment. We want to hear from everyone.
At Mike Catalana, at Jenna Cottrell, at Dan Fates. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.